Welcome to this webinar hosted by Cavendish University, Uganda. Your host this afternoon is Lydia Nakibande Nyakahuma. I am the Human Resource Director at Cavendish University. We do apologize for the delay in this webinar. Seems like ISPs are also threatened with COVID, but we hope that we pull through with the remaining time. At Cavendish University is fully licensed and accredited by the National Council for Higher Education. We do have four faculties: the Faculty of Business and Management, the School of Law, the Faculty of Socio-Economic Sciences, and the Faculty of Science and Technology. Cavendish aims to be a model university in Africa that delivers a transformative, market relevant and quality education. Quality is our lifeline here. We endeavor to provide quality in how we do it, and we operate a highly student-centric model to enable us to reach our vision. And our mission is to provide accessible, high-quality, research-driven education that transforms students into responsible, educated, entrepreneurial, and employable citizens. We do value self-reliance, integrity, responsibility of our students, excellence, respect, and innovation. At Cavendish, we celebrate women, and that is why we're hosting this webinar this afternoon, to celebrate the women at Cavendish University. Just to give you a sneak peek into the women at Cavendish University, this year's theme for the International Women's Day was Equal for Equal. And how are we living that at Cavendish University? In the key university senior management responsibility, university positions, we have women. We actually have a 50-50 distribution. And I'll give you a breakdown of these positions. Our Dean of Students is a lady. Our Finance Director is a lady. We have a dean of the Faculty of Socio-Economic Sciences as a lady. Myself, I am a lady. Our university librarian is a lady. So evidently, we celebrate women at Cavendish University, and I am very proud to speak about the women at Cavendish University. But we are not yet there. So we aim to roll this over every level in our university, every grade in our university. We want an even distribution of staff. So why am I sharing this afternoon? What is my responsibility at the university? At the university, I provide oversight to the human resource function, and specifically to maintain an optimal staffing level with the right skill set, competent to support the delivery of our vision and mission. And then I also do guide on strategies for staff development, because we need the right skill set to deliver in this current environment. When I mention current environment, the operating environment at Cavendish is quite agile. We have very engaging students. And I didn't mention at the start that we also offer a distance learning program that supports us in delivery of our education. So in this current COVID panic, Cavendish is confident that learning will continue. We are not going to have a complete shutdown. Operations will be scaled down, but we have a distance learning platform where continuous assessment and learning will continue during the 32 days of closure. So I am also responsible for developing initiatives and programs that drive employee engagement, because engaged employees are productive employees, and they are pleasant to work with, and they help to contribute to a cordial working environment and to building the organization's culture. I also ensure that behind the person, it's not about the person, but we see the human aspect behind the person. So we ensure that we equitably compensate our staff, we provide the right benefits to our staff, and are continuously benchmarking with the industry to see what is it that meets the needs of our staff. Our theme uh, of discussion this afternoon is equal for equal, and I'll still reiterate that at Cavendish we celebrate women. Please invite more people to like the page, invite people to view the Cavendish website. We have very interesting programs and modes of learning. And for adults out there who are busy in business, in all kinds of business, but are not able to attend the formal classroom environment, we do have a school of working adults. It is a very flexible learning environment that you're able to work on the weekend, you're able to study on the weekend in a more flexible environment. So what have my achievements been? I'll speak about my achievements. Before Cavendish, it's been a journey, right? And what are my biggest achievements? I will pick on 3 areas. One, as a fresh graduate with a bachelor's degree in social sciences, I got a job that paid me about under $100. But of course, I had aspirations as an individual. So after 1 year in that job, I opted to enroll for an MBA, to self-fund myself for an MBA. It's an achievement for me because I didn't go back to my parents to ask for money, and I was able to graduate from an MBA class, self-funding myself, and I would encourage students out there to look at what they can do for themselves. And then secondly, about 7 years ago, I worked in a thriving multinational logistics company in about 200 countries. Then I pretty much knew my environment. I was quite comfortable there. Everything was comfortable, but I had career aspirations. So I chose to leave for a position. I was a human resource business partner then. I chose to leave for a position in a local telecom franchise as the head of human resources. And I should say the rest is history, because that gave me a stepping stone, my current responsibility. Like I mentioned at Cavendish, I am the human resource director, but of course, there's a foundation to that. And the foundation was for me to do a deep dive into more murky ground, and which actually paid off. And then at Cavendish University, what have I been able to do? One of the things that Cavendish values is the employability of our students. What will our students be able to do after they graduate from Cavendish University? So we help connect them to the market, or simply put, gown meets town. So about 6 months ago, we held our first ever employability forum. It was my responsibility to do a selection of the audience of attendees for that forum. And we looked at human resource practitioners, we looked at business leaders. And I must say that it was a success, because without those attendees, we had high caliber HR practitioners, high caliber business leaders, and the event made headlines in the next day in the dailies. So I should say it's been quite an achievement, and there are more achievements to come with such an enabling environment. So what has my experience been at Cavendish University? I should say that I have had a very exciting experience. It's been remarkable. And talk about gender biases that I have not experienced, because Cavendish is very keen on creating an enabling environment. Cavendish is very keen about creating an enabling environment for all gender to thrive. For all gender to thrive. So I have had a good experience. We have a living document on gender mainstreaming, that is our policy on gender mainstreaming, and we ensure to live that document. We have a target of increasing our gender distribution at all levels, like I mentioned. And which women have inspired me to get to where I am? I chose not to look very far away from myself. And I will recognize my own mother because of her background. I will share her experience in a highly patriarchal setting. My mother is 81 years, so you can imagine when she went to school. But in a highly patriarchal setting, her father recognized her abilities and supported her through school. She had such an enabling environment. Sharing from her experiences, she mentions that she had such an enabling environment and was supported to go to the good schools of the time at the time. Talk about King's College Budo, where she did her high school, Nabumali High School. She went to Makerere University for a diploma in education, and she did a master's degree in education at Clark University in the USA. I would look no further because it is because of the enabling environment that was given to her. And setting my standards, I wouldn't set my standards lower than that, right? And of course, in her professional journey, she is a retired teacher. She taught at several schools, and her first teaching assignment was Nyakahuma High School, a boys only school, and she was a fresh graduate, but she mentions that it really shaped her a lot. So from my experiences, I believe that whether man or woman, we can always deliver in equal measure. And she moved on to become a head teacher. So I really recognize her and I celebrate her this Women's Month at Cavendish University. And also I would want to share from my professional network as well. While I was doing an MBA, I met a lady and we became friends at the time. I was kind of fresh. She had some experience in the marketplace and she worked with a microfinance institution then. She worked with Pride Microfinance. I remember we became so close that when her name is Anne Nakaunde Mulindwa, she's currently a chief executive officer at Finance Trust Bank. She shared when she was going to do her interview at Finance Trust Bank. And because of the enabling environment, as she shares there, she was able to move through the roles and so Finance Trust Bank from a microfinance deposit taking institution to a fully licensed commercial bank. And she still gives oversight as the chief executive officer. So with that, I believe there's equal opportunity for the female and male gender. I have a comment here. I hope we were able to submit our comments and you're able to view this webinar. And I have a comment from Fatima from Ethiopia. Because Cavendish University is in Uganda, it's the best of all the world. The management and teachers teach on time. Honestly, one of my my preferred study centers. Yes, we have good reviews there. Please, parents, let your children make a decision about coming to Cavendish University. We do provide transformative education. We are highly student-centric. We run an academic model that is centered around the student and transforming the student. And from the reviews that we do have, it's no regrets for if you chose to come to Cavendish University. What advice would I give to girls or women of a younger generation? One, I'll give a number of a range of advice. I would encourage you to understand yourself. Self-awareness is very key in the marketplace. Understand who you are, undertake self-discovery of yourself, know what motivates you, know what you're passionate about, tap into your areas of strength, purposing to work on your areas of improvement. It is very important that you do that. Otherwise, you will not be able to know. And of course, have a clear set of values. What do you stand for? Do not get lost in the jungle. When you have a clear set of values, you will always identify with the right people. You'll always look out to developing the right skill set and working on your areas of improvement. You need to be very intentional on how to deal with your areas that require improvement. And not forgetting that in the current environment that we work in and we study in, do not understate the importance of networking. Networking is good for a working professional. Networking is good while you're at university because the people you meet will lead you to the next opportunity that could take you a mile or two. And then seek out mentors as a young professional, as a young woman, seek out a mentor, look out for someone that you're accountable to. You need a point of contact for accountability to be able to evaluate yourself against set objectives and the progress that you are making. And you also need sound advice. Be confident, be bold, and do not undersell yourself. I would still give reference to the example that I made, that I alluded to my own mother. If she believed that she was not able to, then she would not have made it to the different schools where she did. Thank you, Abu, for joining, and we do recognize you at Cavendish University, and thank you for the good comments. Abu there says it's excellent at CUU, and he encourages others out there to consider Cavendish University. And then my last piece of advice would be about emotional intelligence. Working in the human resource function, you are faced with so many issues, but many of which could have been solved if we focused enough on our emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is a key skill that employers look out for now. Whether it's professional, whether it is business, you need emotional intelligence. Much as logical arguments are important, deductive reasoning is important, but emotional intelligence is key for you to thrive in a competitive, in a market environment, in a highly stressful environment. So you need your own self-awareness. You need to be motivated as a leader, as a business leader. You need to empathize with those around you. And of course, you also need the social skills and self-regulation of self, to regulate yourself in your own emotions. In what ways can we achieve this year's theme, equal for equal at Cavendish University? I already mentioned that we are on a journey, and our trajectory is clear with a 50-50 representation at the university management level. In the next 5 years, we have a strategy to ensure that at all job grades, we increase the gender distribution, so we're evenly distributed. It is possible. It is about commitment. And also, like I mentioned earlier, self-discovery is very important. And this is what we mentioned to our new hires, that when you come into the workplace, discover who you are, understand your environment. We are committed to providing an enabling environment for our staff to thrive. It is common that you will be asked to do something outside of your ordinary job responsibility for as long as it enhances your strength, be it for the gender, for the male or female gender. So we create an enabling environment for our staff to thrive. Once again, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Lydia Nakibande Nyakahuma. the Human Resource Director at Cavendish University. And please remember that success begins at Cavendish. Please come and experience success at Cavendish. We are committed to providing high quality education that transforms students into responsible, educated, employable, and entrepreneurial citizens. At Cavendish, we value self-reliance, we value integrity, we value responsibility, we value respect and innovation. And all these are key values in the current marketplace. And then at Cavendish also, for those that have just joined us, we have 4 faculties. We have the Faculty of Business and Management, we have the School of Law, we have the Faculty of Science and Technology, and Social Economic Sciences. And I'll still reiterate and celebrate the women at Cavendish, that our university librarian is a lady, the Human Resource Director is a lady, the Finance Director is a lady, the Deputy Vice Chancellor is a lady, the Dean of the School of the Faculty of Social Economic Sciences is a lady. So we really recognize them and celebrate them. And we have commendable women at Cavendish University who serve in different roles and responsibilities. Much as they juggle family, motherhood, children to look after, and a job to deliver on, they are doing excellently well. And I do celebrate you. If you're online, please take it as my message of appreciation that we do celebrate you at Cavendish University, Uganda. And at Cavendish University as well, we do offer a distance learning platform that is flexible for learners who are not able to come to the conventional classroom setting. Please visit our webpage for more information about Cavendish University, Uganda. We will still go back to our discussion about Equal for Equal at Cavendish University. How are we set to realize this theme? I mentioned earlier in our earlier conversation that we have clearly cut out our gender mainstreaming policy, and we're committed to equipping the female and male gender in terms of skilling, in terms of opportunities, in terms of growth as well. And in terms of work-life balance, I'm very passionate about human resources, about managing the human resources function. We do offer a flexible working environment at Cavendish University. We recognize the responsibilities that, by the way, both men and women do at Cavendish, and occasionally offer remote. Our staff are able to work remotely. In the current COVID environment, we are not threatened because these are things that we deal with. We work remotely, but ensure that we deliver. And then what advice? How can we have this implemented? Equal effort deserves equal consideration. In the workplace example, we do promote staff who are deserving. We operate a robust performance management system, and that is quite objective and ensure that promotions are on merit, be it the female or male gender. So and then we equip to ensure that we bring people to the desired level of performance. So it's about providing an enabling environment with equal opportunities to thrive. And on this note, I would like to encourage the girl child to enroll at Cavendish University. And we have quite a number of scholarships at Cavendish University. Visit our webpage frequently. We do advertise our scholarships there. They're quite transparent. And of course, we have scholarships for the female because we want to promote gender equality in the different areas. And also, I didn't mention that the Deputy Guild President at our university is a female. So that shows that it's not only in amongst the staff, but this goes back to our students as well. And we also equip the female, girl child at Cavendish University with the right skill set to enable them thrive in the current environment. The deadline for scholarships application is 14th of April. Please tell your relatives to tell their relatives to enroll at Cavendish University. Success begins at Cavendish University. And I would also want to mention and emphasize the role of the male gender in creating an equal environment. We cannot do this alone as women, but the male gender is very pivotal in helping us to deliver on this theme of equal for equal. I would want to acknowledge our own leadership at Cavendish University, Uganda, where we have the executive director as a male, the vice chancellor is male, but they are very sensitive to the female gender and endeavor to accord equal opportunity, to accord an enabling environment and a flexible working environment that helps us to deliver to our optimum level. So the role of the male gender in all spheres, be it in the workplace, be it in the homes, and I would still refer to my own mother's experience. If it wasn't for her father believing in her, she probably couldn't have been who she is, and I probably wouldn't have been the person that I am. But because of that cycle, and then I would also impart differently to my own children because of the opportunities that I have been given at Cavendish University. So the role of the male gender is very pivotal in the formation stages of our children, and I would encourage them that they give it a thought. And also, thank you, Salman, who is watching from Nigeria. Our Nigerian community at Cavendish is quite vibrant. We have students from over 15 nationalities. We have students from the Gambia. We are a diverse population. So when we talk about equality, we give it in equal measure. We have students from Somalia. We have students on learning from Germany. So we have students from all over the world. Yeah, it's just about the quality education that we provide and the flexible learning platform on our distance learning program. And then we also need to intentionally tackle the barriers against gender equality right from the grassroots, right from the family levels, from the communities, and ensure that we do support in all our interactions. We interface with a woman, either a sister, a mother, a wife. So we need to encourage them because women are critical to the development of any nation. I would invite questions from our audience and invite more people to listen in to this webinar, quite insightful discussion here about gender equality. I did mention earlier on that my desired profession, I thought I would be a journalist, but it didn't work out that way. And then my father thought I should pursue law, but I ended up doing human resources, and I am loving it because you get to meet people. Human resources is like being a teacher. You do not grow old. So I would encourage many people out there to take on this profession, be objective. Many of the courses that we do offer at the programs that we do offer at Cavendish University in our Faculty of Business and Management give a foundation for you to be able to break through in the business field. At Cavendish University, Uganda also, we do engage with community, and our employability forums do engage with our community, with the marketplace in terms of internship opportunities, job placement opportunities. So we encourage employers out there to partner with us in transforming the next generation workforce. Do we have any questions from there? Please feel free to like as many times as you want. Feel free to like. And I would remind you, please log on to our webpage, view our webpage, quite interesting programs on that we do offer. And then I would also want to remind you that in the current environment of the COVID-19, please ensure to to be cautious about your own interactions, keeping social distance, buy a sanitizer for your bags, and then keep out of crowded environments, because a healthy population is key to the higher learning environment. I have a question from Sandra. Sandra, there. I can't view that well. Sandra, if you could make that clear, please clarify your question, and then I will be able to answer your question. So please, please ensure that you take keen interest and focus on your health, because we need you alive, and we need you to send your children to school. We need you to enroll at Cavendish University, Uganda. I invite questions from you. Thank you, Abu, for the recommendation, and we encourage you to reach out to your community, do a community drive, and encourage many more people to enroll at Cavendish University, Uganda. We do appreciate you, audience, this afternoon. And at Cavendish University, Uganda, we not entirely shaken about the operation in the current COVID panic, because we will scale down the teaching, but teaching will still continue on our distance learning platform. Our students will engage with their tutors remotely, using technology, and of course, we will not have idle students out there. They will still be learning, and we will pick up after the 32 days that the government has mentioned for closure of institutions of higher education and schools out there. Thank you. You have been an interactive audience for those that have logged onto our website. Thank you so much. We do encourage you. Our enrollment campaign is on. Feel free to log onto our website and send through your queries. We are active. And assure you of an instant response out there. We welcome you to Cavendish University. And on this note, I would want to thank you for being a very active audience, for listening in, and stay safe during this period. For all those watching from different countries, please give thought to your safety and encourage more and more people to enroll to Cavendish University. And do have a good week, and stay well and stay safe. Success begins at Cavendish University. Thank you.